Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of G Bear Homesteading the Desert out here in the upper California desert. And you're looking at my trailer loaded with stuff. And yeah, I went down to the OC and I picked up my table saw. And while I was down there, I went to a big box store down there because I could get my shingles that are the matching shingles for my cabin, because that's where I bought them in the first place. And these are $20 a bundle, and Home Depot is $30 a bundle. So I guess which ones I bought? $20 a bundle, you betcha. So I got my two squares right there, which is a little bit more than what I need to do the roof on the addition here. That takes 192 square feet up there, so two squares would be 200 square feet. So I have 8 square feet left over. But I also have one bundle in my shed from when I did the main cabin originally. So that's because I'm going to end up putting a little back porch cover on this back area here. So if it's raining or something, I can stand there while I get my key out and I don't have to worry about getting wet. I also, while I was there, for $5, they had a wall mount light with the globe. This is an old one that I had laying around that had the globe had broken on it. This was for a walk-in cooler, and I couldn't find another globe to fit it because it was such an old model, and that LED bulb won't last in the rain. So I've got one with a cover, and that'll go on tomorrow, and that'll take care of that. And then, of course, the awning will come out over the top of that, and then I'll have 2 poles in the ground here that support it. So it'll be a nice little unit. All right, inside there's the narrow insulation that I said I needed to finish that one spot here behind the door, because we didn't come in last time. Remember, I had locked myself out. But yeah, here's all the walls are all insulated, and there's no ceiling in yet. Those wires hanging there in the bathroom are for the exhaust fan, for the ceiling fan. And I'll be working that this next next workforce day, I guess. Also, I'm going to be going out tomorrow. I got to empty the trailer, and I'm going to be picking up drywall because I got all of my plumbing fittings ready to finish the plumbing behind the wall there, and get my stub outs for the sink, and then I can close in the walls of the bathroom, and the bathroom will be usable. So now that the colder temperatures are coming at night, get down in the upper 40s, low 50s at night, I'll be able to shower inside. Right now what I've been doing is about this time in the afternoon, a little after 3, the sun's still out, the water on the outside shower is nice and hot from the solar barrel. And I go in there and I take a shower about this time, and then I can't work the rest of the night, otherwise I'm going to get all dirty before I get into bed, and then the dirt goes on the bedclothes. What a pain. At least having an indoor bathroom for the winter, I'll be able to work later and take my indoor shower in a warm environment. All right, so there's the weather cap for the water heater, the tankless water heater. And this is going to be the housing for the exhaust fan. I've got a 12-volt DC exhaust fan that's going to go on there. And that'll be the cover that goes on the ceiling in the bathroom over the fan. Then inside here I got all my plumbing fittings, my angle stops and all of that to finish up that plumbing. And there's my quick set smart key lock set that's going on the back door. And then I'll key that to be the same as the front door, so I only need one key to work all the locks. And then there's my bathroom faucet, my bathroom trap, and in here I found a wall-hung sink for $30. What a deal. So I got a wall-hung porcelain sink inside of there. I'm not going to pull it out of the box now. I'll show it to you when I'm ready to hook that up. It's safer in there. That box is the ridge cap for the roof. Now, they didn't have the exact desert tan, but they had this one that was a brown, And the ridge cap being brown won't make a difference out here. It'll look just fine. As a matter of fact, unless you're in the sky, you're not going to see it. So the winds were blowing while I was down in the OC, and it tore up that blue tarp over at the chicken coop. So I have to get up there with a ladder and disconnect the rest of that and get that down. All my plants in the garden house down there are doing just fine. I'm probably going to be eating cucumber at dinner tomorrow because I just went down there and eyeballed those, and my cantaloupes are nice and big and juicy. Everything's ready for watering, but I also have to fertilize all my trees. So that's first thing to do tomorrow morning when I get up, is I'm going to go in there and water everything because it's going to be a nice cool day tomorrow. It's cool right now. It's only about 80 degrees right now, so just real nice. And it's probably going to get down to about 49 or 50 tonight, so I'll water it first thing in the morning, and when the heat starts coming up, the plants will have something to drink. I also got to do a load of laundry because of course we had this pulled out, or I had this pulled out, and while I was doing the siding on the cabin here and putting in the plumbing and the electrical on the outdoors there, and now that it's done, I can get all my laundry done. That's going to be a good thing. And I'm going to be draining that tank down the rest of the way pretty soon. I'm down to about 100 gallons left in there. And I've got wedges under the back side of it, tilting it so that I can make sure I get as much out as possible. Because you got to remember, water is about 8 pounds per gallon. So 100 gallons in there is an extra 800 pounds of liquid, moving liquid, that I'd have to move out of that tank while I'm trying to slide that thing around. That's a little bit too much weight. So I want to make sure I get that thing completely emptied. I got my barrels tied off up there. And speaking of tying off the barrels, I'm going to tell you a little funny story. Is the rope that goes around those barrels is what I usually have tied to the top of my extension ladder. And I usually, when I go up on the roof of this cabin, I'll tie off the ladder just in case surprise gust of wind comes, bye-bye ladder. Well, surprise gust of wind came, my ladder stayed, but I heard something tumbling up that way, so I came down the ladder and I saw my barrels rolling across the desert. So I grabbed the rope off the ladder and I ran after them, and I brought them all back and I tied them up. And after I did that, I felt so satisfied. I went inside and got myself a V8 juice, and I sat down and I said, I'm going to see what the weather says about wind gusts and extreme winds. So I'm sitting in the cabin and relaxing, and I got a couple of text messages and I answered those. And I came back out and I totally forgot that I untied the ladder. So I climbed up on the roof. Well, I was up there for about 5 minutes cleaning up stuff, and I hear a gust of wind, and I heard the screech, clang, 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 and there goes that ladder. And it was laying down right here behind the cabin, or the little shed for my laundry, when it was away from the cabin. Well, I'm in no shape to jump 8 feet off of a roof. And I couldn't hang down because the cabin was there, and I had my table saws and stuff set up over here. There was no place for me to drop off the roof, and I didn't want to risk breaking an ankle or a leg or something like that. So I said, well, come on, Barry, you can figure this out. So I stood up there for a second. I looked over towards the TV antenna, and I said, oh, look at that. There's a coax cable on the TV antenna. So I went and got the coax cable, tied a loop in the end of it, reached down, hooked the ladder, and brought the ladder back up and climbed down. So now my ladder is going to have a permanent rope on it so that I can't use it for something else and forget about it. Well, just figured you'd like to hear that story. That's about all there is for today, people. Like I said, I've been gone. I just got back, and about 1 o'clock this afternoon, after the stops, I had to go pick up my mail and fuel the van up and all that kind of stuff. And then I started unloading everything. So now, right now is when I'm finally ready to relax a little bit. So I'm going to go inside, pop a cold one, get my dinner ready. I think I'm going to have lamb chops with a baked potato and string beans tonight. G Bear signing off.